So recently I watched a video of AFL Aussie rules and I noticed that the commentators on that video were very funny. Unlike any other sports commentators I've ever heard before, they got straight to the point, said some funny stuff, and I wanted to see more of them, so that's what I'm doing today. This is AFL journalists and commentators' biggest fights. So yeah, I mean, I don't think I've seen any journalists get in a fight before, so the fact this is all just from one sport, yeah, of course I need to watch this. Let's check out. Tell me if you know of any of these big fights. Tell me who's your favourite AFL journalists or commentators. What's the funniest thing you've heard them say? Let's watch.
Got something to add?
No. I'm just not... Gee, you can clear this up. What does it matter what conversations James Hird had with anyone? What does that matter in this context?
Well, there's a dispute as to whether Andrew Demetrio's phone call to David Evans the night before Damien Barrett broke this story was whether it was to allude him to the fact that they were being investigated. They were under heavy investigation.
What's that got to do with James Hird?
Yeah, well, it was reported in media today that James Hird was a source of that. That he, in fact, actually said that was the case, which puts him at odds with his chairman, David Evans. That's the reports from today.
So we are calling Andrew Demetrio and David Evans liars.
They're at odds. They are at odds right now, Samuel.
I tell you what.
Yes.
This is almost sickening, the way this just gains legs. So far, I can tell you... I can't tell you anything, but so far nothing... Essendon have not been found guilty of giving any banned substances to their players except for Jobe Watson, who took a thing called AOD 264 or whatever it's called, and that, when he took it, wasn't on the banned list. It was not on the banned... Now, Gary, now see, this is where...
Hang on.
No, it was not on the banned list.
It was on the SO list.
It was not on a banned list. The supplements that have been injected into the Essendon players, I am told, there is documented evidence that they have been cleared, not ratified, but cleared by ASADA, saying they were not on the banned list except for that AOD, which when Watson was injected with it wasn't on the banned list and subsequently has been put on the banned list. So that is a subtle variation from actually injecting yourself with banned substances.
Samuel, we have the findings of this investigation coming out in about 10 days. Why don't we wait and see what that says, and then you can go on your...
That's where all this started. From day one I said, how in the hell do the media go off in a rampant, gratuitous...
You've done it every week.
Well, Shut up! I tell you what. Shut up! I tell you what, fat man.
We'll find out Monday week.
No, this has started because a rampant media have hung, drawn and quartered Essendon from day one.
That's right.
And no one has any idea.
Exactly.
Shut up,
no
you
one
fat
knows.
man. No one has...
Can you clarify your statement?
That's pretty mad. I've never seen anything like that. It almost seems like watching a movie where you would see like the characters argue with each other. So intense, like who was in the right, who was in the wrong there. I like it. I like to see people have that passion, also that knowledge. It wasn't like they were just shouting over each other and being angry for the sake of it. Like very composed, and like that guy had a lot of good points. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know what happened, but does this sort of thing happen regularly? I like it. It's good to see that passion in the sport. Although they're talking about quite a sensitive subject like, performance enhancing drugs, it sounds like.
Can you clarify your statement, please? Why is the future of Trent Crowe looking more and more cloudy? Again this morning that he's 6-8 weeks away. Is he going to play this year? I hope so. I can't categorically... Okay. Well, why are you having a go at me? I said, is he going to play... Because what you are doing... I said his future is becoming more and more clouded. It's not. I just asked you the question. Shut up for a minute. I asked you the question. And I'm trying to answer it, and you won't shut up. All you are doing is facilitating rumour mongering. It is an injury that you cannot put a set number of weeks on. But having said that, Q, if you'd done your research like a good journo, you would know that he hasn't had any setbacks along the way whatsoever. He is back running, and it is going well. I asked you the question. His future is becoming more and more clouded. It's not. And I asked you, will he play this year? More cloudy or less or no? That's not his future. His future's not one bloody year. Then? It is not one bloody year. This is exactly what Channel 10 do. This is sensationalism, Hugh. You're talking shit is what you're doing right now.
Don't swear on air.
I'm telling you, you're talking shit.
Don't swear on air. You're better than that.
No, you shut up and listen instead of talking
Don't
shit.
speak to me like that.
Well, then I won't talk to you.
Get out of the box.
Will do.
I will not work with someone like that. Get out of the box right now. Go on, nick off. Just throwing a whole tray of food on me.
A whole tray.
Nick off. I'm not working with those.
Shut up.
Get out. Shut up.
Steve-O...
Get out. That is unacceptable behaviour.
Shut up.
Get out, Jason.
While these
that
guys
is
are going at it,
disrespectful.
Steve-O...
2 weeks fried rice across the room.
Do you want to take this?
This is actually, mate, just as entertaining as the sport almost. I mean, the sport's like all action. Seems like the commentators and journals, analysts are as well. They were both getting like very heated up there. Again, love the passion. Tell me who's on the right of it there.
Fried rice across the room.
Do you want to take this call from me? Would you like me to go on with this, or would you rather me not? Because you know what'll happen, Rex?
What's that, Sam?
You'll be out of business if I go on with this phone call. Would you like me to tell people exactly the conversations I've had with you in the last month to show people exactly the person you are? Would you like me to do that?
So are these conversations that you and...
Yes or no, Rex? You said things that are patently a lie, a fraud, you're dishonest and you're two-faced, and if you'd if you would like me to go on with this, Rex, consider it, please, because I've got a feeling your career and your reputation are right on the line as we speak, because if you let me go on with this, you will know exactly what I'm saying is right.
Is it relevant to the discussion, Sam?
About what you think of the people at Channel 7, about what you think of the people at Channel 9, and how you've grafted and manipulated your way to be resurrected again. Would you like me to go on with it and I have witnesses, Rex? Would you or not?
This is an absolute pitiful phone call from a man who is 60 this year, and you... No, but you are...
Can I ask you a question?
Certainly.
Did you ring me up and say what Naomi Robson did to me was disgraceful and Ian Johnson was behind it?
Yes, I did.
Yes. Did you say Ian Johnson is nothing but a... Well, I won't even say what you called him. Did you speak of him in derogatory terms?
I said that I believe it.
Did you speak of him in really derogatory terms?
I said that Ian Johnson and John Sorrell spread a rumour about me in the early... Just a minute.
Nothing to do with it. That's nothing to do with it.
See, you are a pitiful individual. You are. You're a pitiful individual, and this is typical...
Did he say he wouldn't have you back at 7 while you had a hole in your bum, Rex? And did you grovel and say he's a guru and he's a great man? You don't like him because he gave you the arse and he wouldn't piss on you, Rex, and you know it, and you are just grovelling because you might almost be just about finished yourself.
And you know what? I wouldn't mind that particular day, Sam, because then I wouldn't have to put up with individuals like you. By the way, would you like me...
Two-faced buffoon, Rex.
Would you like me to start?
With all the crap that you go on with, but in the end, you are a coward. If I told you now on this radio station some factual things about you, Rex, you would be laughed and driven out of this state. And it ill behoves you to start telling me and questioning what my motives are when you are a two-faced fraud and liar. People will realise you are a disgraceful, lying, two-faced prick.
What are you doing down in Melbourne since you stopped playing? You sure you're not becoming a corrupting influence down there?
Oh, I should hope, certainly think not. I haven't really had much time down there, and I've actually stood away from the club a little bit and just focused on my own life.
You become the human headline. When they're going badly, you're up them, and you're getting their players to bet, and they're getting into trouble betting. You're introducing people to bookmakers. Don't you have a responsibility now that you've left the club?
Do you honestly believe that?
Well, what is all this about then? Why is your name associated with the blokes who owe hundreds of thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars? Why don't you let them concentrate on football?
I have been. I introduced them to this bookmaker some 12 months ago.
Well, why did you?
Well, because they prefer to bet with the bookmaker than bet on the TAB. That was it. Simple. Well, easy for them. They can do it over the phone. They don't have to go to the races. Nice and simple. And it was an introduction only. And if Simon Beasley wanted to use those players or let them bet with him, it was his due diligence to make sure that everything was above board. Travis and Daniel Ward, they've owned up to their mistakes and let them get on with it. Well, the club have been fantastic, supported them. They're going through a bit of hard time now, and it should have been kept in-house, but it hasn't been.
Do you owe any of the bookies, David?
No, not 1 cent.
You hooked on gambling yourself?
I mean,
it's any of our business, but I mean, let's make it our business.
Whoa. I enjoy it.
You're a gambly-holic, are you? A gambler-holic?
No, are you?
Well, I've never had a bet in my life.
That explains it.
Well, explains what?
It explains like you're the person you are.
Well, what is that sort of person?
Conservative.
Well, I'm conservative, but I don't meddle in other people's business. If I'm part of a football club, I don't rope the players I used to play in with into getting into trouble betting by introducing them to bookmakers.
You know, you do. You bag them, you can them, and you do nothing.
Oh, and you don't?
No, I don't.
Well, I tell you what, I at least let them concentrate on football rather than getting them sidetracked on issues that have nothing to do with football.
You will let them concentrate on their footy.
Yes.
But if they don't play your way, you can them.
David, well, what are you talking about?
David, can I jump in there?
Yes,
is there a problem with gaming and gambling, particularly with young footballers at the moment? Have they got too much time and money on their hands?
Yes.
I don't think so. I just believe that their managers and the footy clubs have just got to monitor their payments, that no lump sums go out without being recorded. So if the lump sums are going out, they go into their house loan and not to the bookies.
It's an unhealthy environment that you're leading these young players into.
I'll tell you now, before I was involved with Travis and Daniel, they were betting anyway. That is it. It's their prerogative. They're grown men. They're 25 and 27 years of age.
And you decided,
they can gamble.
So why did you get involved then? If they were betting anyhow, why did you get involved? Why did you stick your
I actually wasn't involved. They asked me who I bet with and I told them.
Personified.
I actually can't believe these are real, man. That is like, they're so straight to the point. I would actually like to see them on like British football. I mean, I'd like to see them talk to politicians, like get straight to the point, straight to the the real questions, not letting them off the hook. Like that guy had his claws in. This guy was like really on it, and I kind of like, I agree to an extent because I think gambling is bad. Although, like, we're all adults, we can gamble if we want and that sort of thing. I just seen it affect too many people. I've had friends who've become addicted to gambling and things like that, and it's like, it's a hard thing to get out of, and it can cause like destruction of families and things like that. But at the end of the day, we are all adults, we're responsible. But to see him have a go at him, and again, I don't know if this guy's in the right or wrong, the other guy, because maybe he's taking them away from one way of gambling and letting them go to a safer place, or someone he like knows and like finds responsible, whatever. I don't know, maybe it's a bad person. I don't know the exact situation here, but I just like to see this sort of interaction, like talking about a real issue, which is something you never see on British sport, like talking about something that does really affect these players, gambling addictions and so on, and like really getting it out there for people to debate and discuss as well. Tell me what you think about that one. I wasn't
involved. They asked me who I bet with and I told them.
Personified by a unique character named Mark Jackson.
Jacko to you.
I'm a bit toey about this encounter, Mark, given our history.
Well, our history's long, and you know, a lot of blokes forget about people that do the wrong thing, and you're one of those blokes that I've never forgotten. And
why? Do you want to share with me why?
Well, you're a pollutant. You know, you're a pollutant. Yeah, you're a pollutant. You're a toilet-trained AFL jerk media journalist. That's all you are. You're a pubic hair. That's all you are, Mike. Let me tell you, explain. Anybody after their father dies after a tribunal hearing, right, and then blames you for bringing on the stress, do you reckon you'd have a nice word about any of these journalists? You wouldn't.
Did I say that?
Well, listen, amongst other things, there was other things said, and yeah.
OK, let's talk about that. You've raised it. Your father died on the night you got suspended for... Was it 8 weeks? Yeah.
For the Lee Matthews incident.
Yeah.
Lee Matthews incident. He's the one that got charged by the police for assault, for breaking the bloke's jaw. He's the one that went to court and dogged me and said it was my fault. Well, listen, I wouldn't do that to somebody, right? But hang on. And since then, right, he's gone on to coach four AFL grand finals, which I never played. Premierships, yeah, winning, yeah, whatever, right? At the end of the day, what did the AFL actually hand down as a result of doing that? The only player ever at that level to hit somebody and get charged for assault on the ground.
This is about you, Mark, not about Lee Matthews.
No. It's about an issue that happened in the 80s, right?
Yeah. 1985.
Which reflects on me badly.
But
right?
you whacked 3 blokes that day.
Doesn't matter who I whacked, they were all looking at me. It doesn't matter.
No.
It's irrelevant.
You don't blame
it's
Lee
irrelevant.
Matthews for what
I
you
don't
did.
blame any of the blokes I hit.
Well,
they all had it coming. It was Hawthorn.
You introduced Lee to this discussion. You were rubbed out for 8 weeks because you smacked Chris Langford twice, Gary Ayres and Chris Mew.
Yeah.
Well, what's that got to do with Lee
because they were
Matthews?
Hawthorn, mate. You know, look at the colours. Please. They're the most boring team in the league. And without the umpires helping the 80s, they wouldn't have gone anywhere. Grow up.
Are you talking about me, the journalist, are you?
I'm talking about you and your group that was all in together. You're a company man. You're a company man of the VFL and you're a company man of the AFL.
And you're talking about bagging the media. Now, you exploited the media to fill your pockets.
Because you were stupid. That's because you were stupid. Hey, listen, I never got paid for playing football. Yet I was one of the biggest...
Hang on. Paid.
I never got paid at all.
You paid for
nothing?
nothing?
Never got paid. Yeah, played for nothing. I'll tell you, my highest paid year was at Geelong, where I was getting paid $12,200. I got fined $18,300 that year.
That's
I
your
played
fault.
for it. It's not my fault,
It's
mate.
not your fault.
Who's dragging them through the gates? Give me some of the squareheads. Give me some of the big names that were pulling people through the gates in. Nobody.
And you decked him, is that right?
Yeah, I knocked him out. Yeah, why? What's the problem?
Robert Flower.
Robbie Flower, yeah. What's the problem? What am I supposed to give you a heartfelt rendition of Danny Boy because I knocked out the captain of the Melbourne Football Club? Big deal. Brassy super coach in his wisdom played Robbie Flower at fullback on me. Are you kidding? What an insult. That is an absolute insult to me, personally. Listen, I admit you've got you've got a great show and good on you, and you're getting a paycheck from Fox Footy, another toilet-trained part of the AFL. Great. I feel good for you. You know what I do? I work for a living. That's what I do. I'm not a sycophant. I'm not a sycophant of one particular area of life. Life's a big place. It's full of big hills and downhills and uphills. I work with a variety of different people.
That is actually insane, man. A lot of these, I don't know what side of the argument or debate to come down on. Like that one, it started off like... I'm always kind of like anti-media and stuff. I feel like media always like changes the way things are, the perception of things to suit their narrative. So I thought he's having a go at this media guy. The media has obviously did something bad to him and made him look bad or something like that. Then he goes on to talk about how he just punched all these guys for playing for a team. Like, that's a bit too much, I think. I don't know again, but I don't really know what happened. I seen the clips there, see what they said, but people who are maybe more knowledgeable, as well as being, maybe a bit fairer, not one side or the other, can probably give me a good rundown of what happened in that last one. He seems like a big character anyway, like a bit of a hard guy who you don't want to mess with. That's actually brilliant, but I thought like when it said biggest fights, it was going to be like some like over the top arguments, but these are all quite interesting debates and conversations that they were having. So I love that. I'd love to see more things like that as well. Tell me what you think about these and what side of the argument you fall for, or what side of the argument you support for each of them. Thanks.